question about scams. So we thought, wow, let's just get into this and just deal with it head on. So Patrick and I are going to take and tackle this afternoon of how to distinguish between a scam and a legitimate business offering. And hopefully we're going to give you some good information because a lot of you are looking at different business opportunities out there. So certainly you can take this information, and as you are doing all of your due diligence, you should be able to use this, and hopefully you'll learn some new things even about us here at American Business Systems. So we certainly hope that you enjoy the webinar today. Well, folks, my name's Eric. I'm the Director of Research and Development here at American Business Systems. And basically what that means, we're always striving to find new services. We're working on new services. We're launching some new things here after the beginning of the year.
This is going to be a good one because we do get that question a lot. And, of course, I'm always interested in what is it out there on the Internet that seems to be real, a real opportunity of some kind to make money, and yet is really a scam. Believe me, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, we get asked that question a lot about this particular business. And Patrick, there are a lot of different scams, especially what we've known even over the last 20 years. We've seen companies come and go in this specific area of medical billing.
Yeah, we've had at least a half a dozen companies that were doing something similar to what we started doing back in 1994 when we started, recruiting licensees and training people how to do medical billing. There were other companies doing this very thing that were bigger than we were at the time, and they're all gone now. There's only one company left out there on the West Coast. You know who I'm talking about, Eric. We don't ever talk about our competitors by name, but the point is they are still, selling their system. It's a server-based software. It's not web-based, so I think it's kind of outdated. But anyway, the point is they come and go.
Yeah, they come and go, and again, because they don't have a lot of the support mechanisms that we have. But let's talk about really in this world. I mean, I know I've heard you say this so many times, Patrick. If this person was my daughter or if this person was my son, I would certainly tell certain people to stay away from certain business opportunities because we've seen them not only in the medical billing field but in other business opportunities also come and go. And I know that a lot of people that are on the call and that would be listening to the call, I think some people have actually been scammed a couple of times, Patrick.
Yeah, no doubt. In fact, everybody who's been around for, as long as I have, for example, 65 years, has definitely run into things that you wished you hadn't spent money on. I know I've spent a lot of money on things that didn't turn out to be a legitimate business opportunity. So anyway, that's why I thought we would cover some of the things here that as to why scams succeed. There are reasons why these things out there succeed. One of them is that it looks like the real thing. The scammers are pushing your buttons with the right keywords that produce the response that they want. And they do that through all these promises of, you're going to get rich overnight, get rich quick type schemes.
Yeah, we certainly take our time. We do put out what the people could potentially make in this particular business, which is certainly a six-figure income. But we also tell people you're not going to do that probably within the first week of business either.
Right. And the difference is that you can't promise any kind of income with whatever business opportunity or even a franchise. They can't do that because you don't know. There's too many circumstances. There's too many differences between human beings to be able to guarantee somebody's success in anything. So even though it looks like the real thing, and because those scammers are pushing your buttons to produce the response that they want, not all companies are legitimate. And they're not legitimate just because they've been vetted by the government or other so-called authorities. There are companies out there who have been, vetted by different organizations to say, oh yeah, this is legitimate. And it turns out that those were just companies that were set up to, that were paid to say those things.
Yeah. Yeah, so there are so many different reasons why as we're looking at here. First of all, it looks like the real thing. The scammers want to push those buttons, and it's those emotional buttons that they talk about. And Patrick's right about the authority portion of it. Patrick, you and I are pretty big studiers of of psychology of why people buy things, and one of those things here is that so you've got people will buy on if someone in an authority tells me I should do something, then they do that. You can do that in a good format, or you can do that illicitly in that. And I think that's what we're talking about here, about scammers using what's called the authority principle to say, oh yeah, it's a good business.
Yeah, and of course people want to believe that there's some secret to wealth. And I tell people, even at the training this week, I said, look guys, we don't have any secrets to reveal to you. This business is based on facts, on reason, on what really does work in the real world. We've tested things. We can tell you what doesn't work. But the secret is get up every morning and work hard. That's the secret to success in anything.
Exactly. You probably said it right there. And I know we've talked about different topics of what we can talk about on future webinars, but you just said one there. I think that's why a lot of people fail. Is the secret to success is not so much the secret to wealth. It's the secret of work ethics.
Yeah, it's 10%. Who said 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration?
Exactly. Yeah.
And of course, one of the reasons scams succeed is because instead of offering a total solution, like we do, of course, you can buy it piecemeal. Now, what I mean by that is there are companies out there, as I mentioned earlier, that sell just pieces of this type of thing. I've actually grabbed off of their website here, and I've kind of blocked out some of the key names of their products here. But the point is, look, you can buy every piece of their package separately. Now, of course, the total figure, if you add all this up, is like $100,000, which is ridiculous. It's not worth $100,000, and they know that. But they've put a retail value over there on the right-hand side that seems to indicate that it does. And it just goes on and on and on, every piece of their package. But they also have given away, look there towards the bottom right-hand side, the training and support options, that you would actually have to pay for additional support through their 800 number. What is that, $195 or something like that? I can't read it because there's something in my way on my computer here. Yeah, it's $12.95.
$12.95 for the annual support 800 number.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is, folks, you can't piecemeal this. People have asked us, can you just sell me just the medical billing or just the electronic health records or just the audit guard or some of the other auxiliary services that we have? We don't break this down. It's a total package, and the reason our licensees are successful is because we give them a turnkey system that includes everything they need to be successful.
Yeah, actually, if we sold it in pieces, we would actually be doing licensees a disservice, because you need all of these pieces that come together to create the solution that you're going to get out there. Because Patrick, if you were out there marketing this business to a doctor, all of a sudden you're bringing one piece and the doctor says, oh, but I don't need that, can you do this? Now you're going, oh my goodness, now I got to go back to mine and buy that piece. That's not the way to do business.
No, you give them everything they need to be successful as a medical practice with your services, because you have all the pieces to offer. If you didn't have all of our auxiliary services, for example, you probably wouldn't be near as successful, because you don't have something to walk in with and open the door. If they're not, look, if they think that their billing is in good shape, they may not want to talk to you right now today about the billing, but they might have a problem with receivables from their patients, for example. We have a solution to that. So that's why it has to be sold as a package, a total system. That's why we call our company American Business Systems. Okay, so as this slide says, instead of offering a total solution, you can buy a piecemeal, and other business ventures that compete with the one being offered. Now, what I mean by that, Eric, is that there are companies in our field, one in particular that I'm thinking about, that actually offers their software under a completely different name out in the marketplace.
Right.
And they sell it to doctors directly. So they're competing with their very licensees that they've put into business. And we, as you know, have a private labeled, white labeled version of our software called iClaim. And nobody else has that. You won't find it out in the marketplace unless an ABS licensee has offered that to a doctor. And then, of course, EMRX, our electronic medical records. All right, so the next slide is here's how to spot a scam. I came up with this, by the way, from several slides from a fellow that I thought I had in here, but maybe I took that slide out. And he is the author of several things. Oh, I'm going to show it here just a moment. Yeah, Dr. Michael SEID, I guess that's how you pronounce his name. He wrote a book called Franchising for Dummies, and he came up with these how to spot a scam things. Anyway, one of them is instead of offering, I think we just covered this, didn't we?
No, we're talking about the ongoing fees and other support, support and other features, and that we did sort of cover that again. And again, I think what we're getting down to is that, one way to spot somewhat of a scam is other ongoing features, other ongoing things that they're going to have to pay for. And I know we get that question asked a lot on the front end, so to say. Well, once I've bought in and I become a licensee of American Business Systems, what are the other fees? And we're so free to say there are no other fees.
Yeah.
How long is it gonna? How long does support last, and what is it going to cost me to keep going with other support?
Yeah. How about ongoing training and webinars like this that we do on a almost weekly basis for our licensees, Eric? We don't ever charge anything. But look, again, back to this other company, they're charging for one-on-one training via the computer or a telephone, 6 hours minimum. It's $120 an hour. That's $700 and $720, right? That somebody's going to pay for a little package of support. Eric, we've done hours and hours of one-on-one training with our licensees that are from 10 years ago. We continue to support people and don't charge anything for that because that's the way we have told them that it is. It's a one-time, lifetime licensing fee, and that's the way it should be, ongoing.
Exactly. And the other part is the pressure to make a decision. And I think this is one of the best things that I like about what we do here at ABS. When we're talking to folks, none of us here are pressuring anybody to make a decision. Even when we do our webinars, Patrick, we don't even lead people to try to make a decision like, hurry up and get here, because you're going to miss out on this special pricing or anything like that. It's just, hey, we're trying to educate you.
Well, and we're trying to be upfront about it. If we are selling out a particular class that's coming up, we will tell people, unless you reserve your seat, you're not going to be in that class. And we've had people call us back up, the week before the training and say, can I get in? And we've had to say, no, I'm sorry, that one's filled. So that's not pressure. What that is just telling you the facts are that our class is always limited to 15 to 20 people, 20 at the maximum that we can fit in the classroom. And so we don't ever overbook like they do, on the airlines and things like that. So there's never any pressure, guys. If anybody ever says, look, we got a special deal, it's only good for today, it's not good for tomorrow, run as fast as you can.
Exactly. Yeah.
Eric, I am not my control.
I was just going to say, while you're doing that, Patrick, I'm going to remind everybody, go ahead and if you'd like to type in any questions here, again, we'd like to take any of your questions, and I know that we've got a few coming in, and I want to reserve a few of those questions as we get to those sections there. But again, feel free to ask any questions as we're going along here on questions about us, about anything that you'd like to know about American Business Systems during this webinar.
Yeah, let's take a quick poll, Eric. This one's a real simple one. Have you ever been in business for yourself? I just want to find out of all the people on the webinar today, and there's quite a few today, if somebody has actually owned a business before. So just click yes or no there, folks, and I'll show the poll here. I'm going to close it here in about 5 seconds. So if you can find that on your screen, answer the poll. Let's just see what our audience has here. Okay, here I'm closing the poll, and I'm going to share the results there with you. Look at that, 75% said yes, 25% no. Now, the good news is that in most of our classes, that's actually never even that high that have been in their own business. But it doesn't matter, does it, Eric? Because sometimes people who've never been in business, don't think they know it all, will follow our system exactly the way we teach it and be much more successful. So It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, that leads up to another question. A lot of people come into our classes and that maybe have had medical billing experience. Now, although that used to be very low, my goodness, Patrick, I think in this particular class, didn't you say that we have a doctor in this class and another lady that has what's called a registered health information tech?
That's right, RHIT, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that is unusual. But we are seeing a lot of professionals that are in this field, the medical field, get into this. They don't necessarily have medical billing experience, but they have some medical background, so they know that there's a need out there in the doctor's office. All right, let's see. There's one other thing here. I think outdated marketing and training materials. Now, folks, the reason I put that up there is because, again, there's a company out there that has actually published a book. Yeah, just like I have that you showed earlier, Eric. This company has published a book on how to build a medical billing business. So I wanted to show you how outdated that is by showing you, I mean, literally quoting directly from the book. The quotes there are because that's exactly what they say. Go big with a billboard. Now, can you imagine, Eric, a doctor driving down the road, seeing a billboard that says something about we do medical billing and jotting down a phone number or a web address or something and going back? That's not how doctors find medical billers, is it?
No, it is not. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen a billboard that is advertising medical billing.
And he says advertise in the yellow pages in this book. Yellow pages? What are yellow pages? Isn't that what I use that to let my granddaughter set up a little bit higher, you know? Nobody uses the yellow pages, do they?
Exactly.
And here's another one. Seek out local and community print advertising opportunities. I guess that's those little newspapers that come, local newspapers or something. Again, folks, doctors don't go to the yellow pages.
Yeah, green sheet or the wooden nickel or something like that. Yeah, that's doctors are not looking there either.
No. And then the last one is the most dangerous.
And this last one can get you in a lot of trouble.
What's that?
Yeah. I said this last one could get you in a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah, it's very dangerous. Creative fax campaign. I don't know what he's talking about there. I know you can blast out faxes to thousands of people with some programs on your computer, but that's very dangerous because in today's world, there are laws against that. The FTC says if you send a fax to somebody that didn't request one, soliciting business, that's a $500 fine for every fax you send out. So anyway, the point is, guys, here's the point. Yeah. Don't use outdated marketing ideas. We've tested all. I don't think this guy ever went out and actually marketed to doctors, Eric. I honestly believe that he just markets his software directly to doctors, and he came up with some of this thinking these were good ideas. In the real world, they don't work. So that's one of the reasons how you can spot a scam. And the last one is promises of guaranteed income are very large returns. Now, we mentioned this earlier, that we don't promise or guarantee any kind of large income, large returns, unless you go to our website and actually plug in the numbers that would give you big numbers. Here's what I mean. Here's a screenshot of our website, absystems.com. Up at the top, under income potential, we have a billing income calculator. Now, we say right here on the screen that this allows you to put in different pricing scenarios, and we have some numbers already in there, but this wouldn't give you a whole lot of money right here at all. It's one doctor seeing 20 patients a day, 5 days a week, and you only charging 6% of claims that are around $100 a piece. I think you come up with, Eric, on this one, I didn't take the screenshot, but if you hit submit on this one, it just comes out to about $30,000 a year.
About $33,000 per year per doctor. So it's roughly about $2,600 per month in income there. Yeah. So for some that's a great part-time business, and one doctor is only going to take you an hour and a half a day to actually work.
Right.
So for maybe 10 hours during that week, 40 hours, maybe the entire month, you're going to make $2,600. That's not a bad return on your investment. Now, again, that's setting that target very low. So what we're seeing is that a lot of our licensees will have 5 or 6 doctors. And
Sure.
so you take that $35,000 a year, and there's where you can get to a six-figure income fairly quickly, and it's a full-time business at that point.
But notice the note at the bottom of the screen, folks. We say very clearly, formulas and calculations used in this example are based on numbers provided to ABS by actual licensees. So we didn't make these numbers up. These are the kind of numbers we actually get from our licensees. And
Right.
this form is in no way a guarantee or statement of projected income, but is intended for reference in doing research on this business opportunity. Since each medical office will have varying patient flow and pricing, the provided numbers could fluctuate in either direction. These are gross income figures, as overhead and expenses will depend on individual circumstances, such as office overhead, marketing expenses, setups and clearinghouse fees, payments to hired contractors, etc. Ask your ABS rep about these. So the point is, guys, we're not guaranteeing, promising any kind of numbers. You have to come up with your own numbers and just play around with this calculator and see, what you come up with.
There you go.
All right, here's the last point. No money back guarantee. Well, guys, you've seen our guarantee. If you've been on any of our webinars, I'll put it on the screen here. Right out of our agreement, it says if at any time during the live training workshop, you feel this business is not right for you, just ask one of my staff for a full refund and it will be granted. No questions asked. No weasel words in that one.
No weasel words. You just don't like the way the room looks. It could be whatever.
You don't like how somebody smells.
You're right.
Or anything about anything. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's pretty open.
Yeah. It's very, very open. Now here's this quote that you were talking about.
Yeah, here's the resource. You can go out and find this book actually on Amazon.com. Look, he co-authored that, by the way. Have you noticed that, Eric, with Dave Thomas? He's the fellow that founded Wendy's, who's passed away at this point. But yeah, he was co-authored with him. Anyway, that's where we got a lot of the numbers and the points that you just saw on the screen there. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay, Eric.
All right, let's talk about what people should be looking for as partnering with in a particular business opportunity.
Yeah, and this is the first thing we came up with as we were brainstorming this. Is the product or service a real need in the marketplace? Now, that sounds pretty obvious, but there are some products and services that people come out with. I mean, I get this Entrepreneur magazine, and in the back of this, sometimes there's advertisements for different business opportunities that I go, huh? It's like, you got to be kidding me. One of them was a Gum Busters. Did I talk about that one, Eric? Gum Busters. Yeah. You can get this franchise for $30,000 that will teach you how to scrape gum off the bottoms of tables and walls and floors.
Wonderful. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it could be a real need, real service out there.
Yeah.
Where you eat.
Yeah. So anyway, I came up with this chart here because, guys, these are just some of the medical specialties that you'll be able to offer your services to in your area. You can actually do a Google for medical specialties and come up with a list similar to this. All of these doctors, all these specialists are prospective clients of yours. And many of our licensees do billing for many of the services, specialties that you see here. So yes, this is a real business. I don't know of anybody who've ever questioned whether or not this business was real, but some people do question, well, why would these doctors even need somebody to do their billing? Couldn't they do it themselves? Eric, you want to kind of address that? Couldn't they do it themselves?
I'd love to. Why would doctors want to outsource versus doing it in their office? Number one is what I like to call just the workload bandwidth in a doctor's office. They've got so much going on in a particular doctor's office. I mean, folks, we've all been to the doctor. They set an appointment for us to be there at 11. We may not get to see the doctor till 11:45. So that already tells you right there that they're already behind schedule. Then on top of that, if you add billing on top of that, then you've got, like I've shared with Patrick and other webinars, it's like the doctor running two businesses.
Yeah.
You've got a medical billing business plus his medical practice or her medical practice.
Right.
And try to juggle between both of those. And a lot of times what you'll find, and what you will find with a lot of these specialties that we're looking at here, is that once they see a patient, when the claim actually goes out, when they're doing billing in their own office, Patrick, could be up to 2 weeks before that claim gets sent out.
Yeah.
Now, the other difference is if they've got someone doing it in their office where they're paying that person $10, $15 an hour, whether that claim goes out today or whether it goes out 2 weeks from now. When we're in this business, we only get paid whenever the doctor gets paid. So
Right.
how quickly do you think our licensees are shipping out claims?
Yeah, immediately, daily.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So there is some big issues there why, doctors are looking to really truly outsource. And I think they prefer it. They just need to find the right scenario with the right system and really with the right person that they can trust.
Yes. And we teach our licensees. In fact, we're teaching them this week. This is our marketing day where we started teaching them how to market. And one of the things we point out to them is, guys, people are not going to do business with you unless they know you, like you, and trust you. Somebody has to trust you. We're going to show you how to build that trust using the stability of our 20-year-old company. You can tie in with American business systems by saying, I just opened a local office for a nationwide company, the nation's largest network of independent medical billing companies. We do thousands of claims every day for hundreds of doctors from coast to coast every day. So see, now you sound much bigger than you would if you just told them you worked out of your spare bedroom in your pajamas.
Hey Patrick, let's get down to the video where it's just you and me, and let's just talk to people real quickly, because a lot of people ask this particular question. They ask of us regularly, is this a legitimate business? And the answer is yes. We've got a lot of licensees that are out there building big businesses, but Patrick, I want you to address truly this business, why it's successful for people, because they know how to build a relationship with other people. That's probably the key element right there. And what I tell people when they ask me, can I be successful in this business? I normally ask them, can you build a relationship with people, and can people trust you?
Yeah, that's really all it boils down to. I'm not going to do business with somebody that I don't trust, for sure. I think most people feel that way. And in today's world, it's hard to get that trust. It's hard to build that trust because there are so many scams that are out there, not just in the business opportunity franchise world, but in every aspect of life. There's scams in selling used cars, for example.
Right.
So you have to know how to build that trust. And folks, that's part of our training, is to teach you with our tools, our third-party credibility tools, like my book, for example, how to build that trust in people. And once you've built that trust, then when it comes time for them to decide that it's the right time for them to outsource their billing, they'll come to you.
Right. And I think what people can learn from this particular webinar right now is that a lot of people come to us and they wonder whether we're a scam. But imagine you going out there and trying to build your business with a doctor. Guess what they're thinking?
Yeah.
They could be thinking you're a scam, because guess what? You're going to be dealing with their money.
Exactly.
So hopefully you can learn from us of what you need to do to truly build that relationship and build that trust. And that's what I think we've been most successful with our licensees. And then giving them the support and the systems to be able to do the business with.
Right. Well, let's go back to this question here on the screen. Is the business a passing fad or a proven business? I don't know that gum busters might not be a passing fad. I think it probably is, but there'll always be gum, I guess, stuck under tables.
I'm sure.
But there are some fads that have come and gone in the business world. I've seen it over the last 20 years. This one just happens to be about as real as it gets. And here's one of the ways you can know that. There's a book out on the market called Prepare to be a Millionaire. And in this book, there are 43 millionaires in 7 different industries that tell you how they got started. And one of them, of course, is this business, the medical billing business. This guy, Dan Newman, you see here on your screen, he calls himself a medical reimbursement specialist. That's what he does, is he helps doctors get their reimbursements from the insurance companies. And he says for the next 10 years, the medical industry is going to be the most wide open field. Every doctor, dentist, hospital, and clinic has trouble collecting money from patients and insurance companies. I believe that over the next decade, so much money will be made in this particular industry that it will blow you away. So folks, go check that book out. Go order it off of Amazon.com or pick it up at your local bookstore and find out for real that this business is for real.
Exactly. Patrick, there's some questions that have come in here, and there's a great question just for you. It's directed to you from Tally. Tally says, Patrick, what was your vocation before starting AVS?
I actually worked for Apple Computer there in the years just prior to getting involved with my wife in this business. So the computer business was my background. I actually was a consultant, traveled all over the United States, taught for Apple, and then I taught for myself in my own consulting company for about 8 years there with different government agencies. Yeah.
And then your wife started a medical billing business, and you guys did that for several years before you even started American Business Systems.
Yes, in fact, my wife was doing the billing, and I was traveling on the road quite a bit. And then I'd come home on the weekends, and there was more money in the checkbook than there was when I left, which is a good thing, right? When your wife is by herself. So I figured out that she was making a lot of money in this, and I finally got smart, got involved in it, and figured out how to market to the doctors, and then put together our training and support package. Yeah.
There you go. Thanks, Tally, for asking that question.
Yeah. Here's one more book that I found. This is by Entrepreneur Magazine. I just held that magazine up, guys. This magazine's been around for 25, 30 years. And they have a series of books. This one is on starting your own medical claims billing service. Now, I don't think it's going to do what you need to do to really get one started, but it'll give you a good overview of it. And look, in the back of the book, under business opportunities, they list our company. In fact, there was only one other company listed on the next page. You don't see it there, and that company is out of business now. So I think that's good that they're recommending us basically as the company that you would look at were you considering, doing this as a business.
Right. And I mean, you've got to be around for a little bit of length of time to be picked up by Entrepreneur Magazine by having some credibility there. And what about offering a clear, as you're offering clear or confusing? This is a good one to be looking at as you're doing your due diligence with whether it's a business opportunity or a franchise.
Yeah, I hate to keep picking on some of our competitors, but again, I didn't know how to illustrate this other than say, actually show from their website how confusing their packages are. They actually have 3 different packages, and then they break everything down by retail price. And if you notice, Eric, they have a package that's right about price where ours is, and yet it doesn't include EMR, electronic medical records, or any of the software modules that would let you import data from other systems. Their ERAs, that's not included. Scripts, electronic prescriptions is not included. All the things that we have in our package, they list here, but they're not included in this package. You have to spend the $35,000. They don't have live training. They don't have a money-back guarantee. They don't have lifetime support. And yet, this is just confusing to people. We have people who buy our package just because this was way too confusing for them.
Yeah, I mean, if you look way over there on the right-hand side, and it talks about $75 per $100. I mean, 100 brochures down at the bottom, and if you want more about their other services, folks, we have over 2,000 pieces of brochures and marketing material that you get with our package complete.
Yeah, and I think ours run about $25 per 100, by the way. So I don't know where they get these prices. I think these are inflated just to make you think that their package is worth more. See that total down there at the bottom, $101,000 there for that package.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next question. What is being said on the internet about the company? This is a great question you should be asking, guys, because there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet about everybody. For example, we'll show you what's being said by us by the A Better Business Bureau. That's a good thing to check here in Fort Worth. If you go to the Fort Worth Better Business Bureau, or BBB, tap in our company name, American Business Systems, you'll see that we have an A+. Now, folks, that's the top rating. You don't get a better rating than that. And we've had that for quite some time now. Now, it does say that we're not an accredited business. So, Eric, I thought we'd just talk just a moment about what that means.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because so many people do go here and they go, well, you're not accredited. What is then? They think immediately that that's something negative.
Here's what it boils down to. It says it right here. This is right off that site. But basically, it's because they haven't sought BBB accreditation. Look, if you've got an A+, you don't have to give the teacher an apple. You certainly don't have to pay her off. And what they're really saying here is that you need to be accredited, you have to join the BBB. That means you pay $700, $800 a year in membership fees. We haven't done that. We just don't believe in doing that. Didn't need to, and so we just haven't. But that's what the accreditation is all about.
Yeah. Folks, you can go check that out. You'll find a lot of businesses that have A+ ratings that are never accredited by the BBB. Basically, you're not a member of that particular BBB.
And Eric, I wanted to illustrate that on the same page, I've just scrolled down a little bit here on the BBB. You'll see that we have had one complaint closed with the BBB in the last 3 years. That is closed, meaning we took care of that complaint. One in the last 3 years. I think that speaks volumes right there.
Yeah, I mean, down there at the bottom it says BBB found business made good faith effort to resolve complaint, but customer were not satisfied with business response. I mean, we can't please everybody.
Right.
But again, folks, we're showing this to rip back the curtain, so to say, to show you that listen, we're a business and we have families. We're not going to try to do anything to put our families in harm's way of creating a scam to where we've got the black helicopters coming over us and trying to break us down here, folks. This is legitimate. It's a legitimate business. You can certainly talk to all of our ABS licensees about it. But Patrick, people always are going to find something negative, and there's other things out there that they could possibly find negative out there. I'm sure we can always address those. But folks, again, you always have to go to the resource, and that's why we're showing you the Better Business Bureau, because they're the ones that again is a legitimate third-party group that can actually say things about us.
I put into the poll up real quickly. I just wanted to find out what the important things are in people when they're finding a new business to start. So it could be that all of these things are important. Just click the one or two that you think might be the most important to you, and I'll put that poll up on there also. Eric, by the way, there's a question there from Jesus that I am not sure. Did I use the phrase hired contractors?
Yeah, and that was whenever we were talking about on the that was on the disclosure portion of it, when we were talking about the income potential, that if you hire a particular contractor to help you build your business, that doesn't include any of the overhead on that $33,000.
Yes, that's right. If you hired somebody to do the data entry for you, you'd have to pay them so much per hour to do it and so forth. Yeah, I got you. Okay, well, let's see. Let's close this poll and see what came up here important. Oh, this is interesting. Let me share the results of this one, Eric. Look at this.
Wow.
100% of the people who responded checked the box solid ongoing support.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty important, isn't it?
Very important.
The next one there is what? The training. Okay, so we kind of got both of those covered, don't we?
Yeah, training, and then really the ease, how to get a client. I mean, certainly that's important, but I think the support goes along with helping you get that first client there.
Now, I put this one up here because I just happen to know that there is a company out there that sometimes says some bad things about ABS, and we just don't do that. That's our policy. We never, and I have all of my people who talk to people looking into our business. I tell them, don't ever say anything bad about any company that's in our market space. We just don't do that as a company. We don't think that that's the right thing to do. We could be making stuff up just like they could, and it's just he said, she said type of thing. So again, if some company is doing that, we don't think that that's a good practice on their part. So that's it.
Yeah.
And here's another one. Does the company sell any other businesses? Now,
yeah, we've been asked that.
Huh?
I said we have been asked about that.
Yeah, because there are some companies out there that do that. There's one down in Waco. Look, these are the 8 different franchises that they sell. Now, folks, there's probably nothing wrong with any one of these. But the point is, they can't focus like we can. We've focused for the past 20 years on this one particular business. How do you help doctors get paid from the insurance companies and from the government agencies faster and more of it? And I think that's important that you, if you're looking into a company that offers several, then they don't know where their focus is. Somehow they got unfocused there, and maybe they're just trying to sell franchises. Who knows?
Yeah, and yeah, that's right. Because people do ask us, Patrick, do y'all sell anything else? No, this is all we do: medical billing. 24 hours a day. That's about all we do.
Well, there's enough market out there. There's so many doctors, and there's so much of a need. And Eric, our typical licensee, like you said earlier, is probably if they get a handful of doctors, they're making more money than they probably were at their regular job, and they don't need 200 doctors to make a big living. Now, having said that, you know that we have a licensee who has over 200 doctors.
Exactly.
But that's great, of course. Okay, here's a great question to ask people. Ask yourself if you're looking at something, whether it's a scam or not. Do they encourage you to visit their offices before you purchase? Well, as Eric showed you at the beginning of this webinar and every webinar we do encourage people to come down. We have nothing to hide. We have some very nice offices here, good people that you'll be able to meet with. We can answer all your questions. We can show you a demonstration of anything that you want to see. We'll open the books to you, basically. That's important that you be able to do that. Now, if the company hesitates in letting you come out and visit, it may be because they've got a little rented, small 2-office space in a shopping strip. Right, Eric?
Right.
We know some companies that do that. All right, here's another one. You should be asking, have the owners actually done what they are teaching you to do? Now, that sounds like a funny question to ask, but Eric, I'm sure. Let me go back here. I am sure. I could almost bet you that there are people selling these franchises right here that you see on your screen that have never done those things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're not doing those. But we do. We actually teach what we've learned from your experience and Linda's experience, and what we keep developing.
Yeah, here's a picture that was taken back in 1987 when Linda, my wife there in the middle, started doing the medical billing. And so, folks, not only have we done it, we've been there and we've done it, and we've got the T-shirt. we literally have gone through everything, and we know what works and what doesn't work. And that's how we were able to come up with a system that allows people to duplicate what we've done. Here's one I bet you're asking every once in a while, Eric.
Yep. Is the company financially sound? Matter of fact, a lot of people ask, well, I know that you're a private company, but can you share me with your numbers and whatever else that you might have? And we do have an opportunity to be able to share at least something with them.
Yes, so the best we were able to do with our attorney's advice and our CPA, our accountant, is come up with a letter, and I'm showing it to people here so that they can actually see it was written back in June of this year. And basically what it does is summarize us as a company. So if you'd like a copy of this letter, it basically says this. I'm just going to show it here on the screen with my mouse here. This basically says, the company has been profitable every year. They're financially sound in every way. The company has been profitable every year since starting and is debt-free. Eric, it doesn't get any better than that. Now, the reason that can happen, folks, is because we keep our overhead low. We only have about 14 people that work for us as a company. With our technology partners, we have over 100 people that can support our licensees in medical billing and all the services that we have. But the point is, we've kept our overhead low. We've never had to borrow money. That's a good thing in today's world. Right. And we are just financially very, very frugal. My wife and I both grew up poor. We didn't have any money. We decided as you get older, once you start to get money, you learn how to keep the money and invest it. And we've got money set aside for this company. Even if we went away, we're going to continue supporting our licensees for many, many years afterwards, because we've set up our company to always be there for our licensees to be successful. So anyway, ask your ABS rep and we'll send you a copy of that letter. I know it's quick there to put it on the screen that fast. Eric, any other questions coming in? I haven't been watching over there.
Yeah, we do have some, but I know that we're getting close up to we've got about 9 more minutes to the webinar, so we want to make sure that I know we get through most of your slides here, and I'm looking and kind of managing the questions that are coming over here.
All right, then the next question is, what is the company's litigation or regulatory history? In other words, have they gotten in trouble with the government, or have they been sued? And it's that sort of so forth. Folks, American Business Systems, LLC, and its principals, that's me and several other people here at the office, have no lawsuits, no bankruptcies, and no regulatory violations whatsoever. So it's just that simple. Now, you obviously have to do your own due diligence. Eric, you remember the licensee that came, this is several months ago, her husband was a private eye.
Right.
And he says, Patrick, I know more about you than you do. So if you guys want to really dig deep and search hard to see if you can find something on Patrick Phillips, you'll find out that really our company has never been involved in anything. I just don't believe in lawsuits of any kind. If somebody threatens that, I always negotiate and arbitrate with that person to settle it. I think that's the only person that ever wins is the attorneys.
Yeah, yeah.
And we certainly never filed bankruptcy. Here are some of the principles, by the way, of our company. You can search on these under our website, under About Us, up at the top there, Meet the Team. And you'll see that that is the team members that I mentioned earlier. You're welcome to search and find out anything you want on any of these folks. We have a medical doctor who's on our board. We have a fellow who has his degree and background in managing hospitals. We have a certified professional coder. These are solid people, folks, and do all the research and due diligence you want, and you'll find nothing but good about all of our folks.
Now, this is one we're going to be actually doing an expanded webinar here shortly on can I speak with current owners and current people that are in their medical billing. And we're about to do, I think the next webinar we're going to do, that's really all we're going to talk about. But let's deal with that. Let's talk about how can people talk with other ABS licensees.
We have a whole list that's available. Just ask your ABS rep for that list. They will send that to you via email. And folks, these are folks who decided that they love us so much that they're willing to take phone calls for us. So you're welcome to call people all over the country from coast to coast to find out, what they say about us and their experience with us.
Exactly. Well, and again, will the company tell you why people have failed? I think certainly that could take up an entire webinar as well.
Yes, I think we ought to do one on that. But since we were limited in time today, we have 6 minutes left. I decided to just point out the two main reasons why people fail. If you're wondering why people fail in this business, I'm about to show them to you right here on the screen. Number one, people fail because they fail to follow our proven system of marketing. Right. Folks, if you come in and don't want to do what we teach you to do, at the end of the week, I would ask for my money back and go home and we'll part as friends. It's just that simple. Because we figured out what does work and what doesn't work. So if you come in, and then the second reason, by the way, is they try to reinvent the wheel and do it their way. If you're a business owner, for example, and you think, oh, well, Patrick doesn't really know what he's talking about, I'm going to try it this way, then you may fail at that at our business as well. Because again, after 20 years, we kind of know what we're doing. I'm not trying to be boasting about that. It's just that the facts are the facts. What we do works, and that's why we see licensees signing up doctors every day.
Well, and it's because we have licensees that are out there continuing to building their business, and we get their feedback all the time. So, what worked 6 months ago may not be working anymore. So we get their feedback and say, well, we've done this and we find great success. And that's what a company should have, is active people working together of saying what's working and what's not working.
That's right. That's a constant feedback that we have. Our research and development is our 1,500 licensees plus out there who give that feedback to us every day, every week. All right, is the company actively involved in its industry? That's important that you know that we are actively involved. In fact, Eric mentioned earlier that I'm on the editorial board of BC Advantage. That's Billing Coding Advantage magazine. I don't know if their website's I don't think it's there on the screen, but anyway, it's billing-coding.com. And as you can see, I'm an editorial board member there. I have, like you said, articles in most every issue of that magazine. And you're welcome to write your ABS rep and just say, hey, I'd like to see an actual copy of one of the articles that Patrick has written in some of the magazines. I've also had an article, as you can see, published in the HBMA. HBMA up at the top there, .org, is the Healthcare Billing and Management Association. And so anyway, we are involved in the industry, and we try to stay plugged into what's going on out there so we can pass that on to our licensees.
Well, Patrick, we've got about 4 more minutes, and I don't know how many more slides we've got here. I know that it's pretty packed here because we were trying to put so much in here, but just want to make sure that we get any more questions that we need to get answered, and we'll get this thing wrapped up here.
All right. Are there current owners that you can visit in person? Folks, these are some of the folks that have actually opened up commercial office space. So yes, contact your ABS rep. Now there's just a handful. I'm sure there's more than this, but these are the ones we absolutely know that they've actually opened an office. And with the right call and introduction from us, these folks will let you come and visit their office. So if you want to see a working medical billing office, we've got them from coast to coast. Are there ongoing fees or royalties, and if so, have you been told about them? That's a good one to ask people when you're investigating.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And as Eric said earlier, we don't have any ongoing fees. There are no royalties like there are with most franchises. No ongoing support fees. It's lifetime support. No training or webinar fees. Guys, we do webinars every week almost for our licensees that are absolutely free to them. No phone charges. We even have an 800 number. No download fees for any of the documents on our website. No fees for new services when we introduce new services. We don't have any fees for that. No software user fees. Some software, Eric, as you know, every additional user has another fee. We have unlimited seats in software. No clearinghouse fees. No monthly service fees. All those are paid by the practice that you sign up. And last but not least, of course, is no live demo fees. Eric, we haven't even mentioned this, I don't think, about the live demos. You want to tell them?
Yeah, no. And that's one of the ways that we help you get your clients is that we do a demo for you. Many of you have maybe already been through a demo with us, and that's what we do. It's what we help you do and build that your business is to help you deliver these live demos to your doctors.
And the training, of course, it says here, is the training done by actual business owners. Yes, we have actual licensees, we call them, business owners that have purchased our license fee and gone through our training, that actually do the training. Here's some of them that I put up on the screen here. The licensee training that's being done this week is being done by this lady in the upper left-hand corner there, Cynthia Anderson. She actually has been in this business for 8 years now, and she has a very successful medical billing revenue practice management business. And all these others that are our coaches are very successful. And yes, they are actual licensees as well. And
exactly. There you go.
Oh, here's the last one, I think, Eric. Will the company discuss their online reputation? So, folks, there are sites out there, of course, that have said things about us. People have gone and posted a few things. So I'm going to share those with you. Again, this is all about whether something's a scam. If somebody's a scam, they're not going to do what I'm about to do. I'm showing you the actual website that we set up to reply to some of those, and that actually have the links to some of those blogs and posts out there that have some negative stuff about us. So if you want to go there it is right there.
So yeah, folks, I mean, we can't be any more transparent than this. Certainly in the internet world, anybody can go post anything they want to out there, and that's what we were trying to talk about earlier with the Better Business Bureau. If you want something that has any legitimacy, go to a legitimate area to try to check that.